Coach Prime and Colorado obviously have been in the news as Coach Prime wants to face an opponent for Colorado's spring game or have a possible joint practice or joint spring practices with a possible team. Obviously, we saw Fran Brown and Syracuse reach out to Coach Prime saying they would come to Boulder for 3 days. Coach Prime, I believe, talked to Carl Reed, and Carl Reed put out a tweet saying Coach Prime wants to play against Bill Belichick in North Carolina for a spring game. I don't think that would be great in my opinion, but I don't think it's going to be a possibility because I heard Michael Lombardi, who's North Carolina's general manager, say that they're not going to do a spring game. They're doing kind of like how Texas is doing, more of an NFL-style thing. But nonetheless, Coach Prime talked about the possibility of facing an opponent in Colorado's spring game at the Big 12 Combine here. Take a listen.
So when you put out the bat signal, did you hear from some teams that want to do it?
Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And let me give much love and much respect to my dear friend and my brother, Fran Brown, Syracuse. I love him to life. I'm praying that he's the guy that's going to make that jump. His university, we've already communicated. Fran, I love you and I appreciate you, and I'm praying that it happens. Man. It's not going to just be about football. It's going to be about financial literacy. It's going to be about everything. It's going to be about academics as well. We're going to do a joint thing with both teams if we could make this happen.
Matt, I like it. I think that's great. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a fantastic idea. I don't know if it will ever get done, but I think it's a fantastic idea. I can't believe that schools and coaches are so scared to play a spring game because they can't retain their own players. I mean, that's some coward shit to me. It takes away opportunity from the kid, which is disgusting. Every opportunity to be seen on TV, every opportunity to be seen by somebody else in the mercenary era is an opportunity to make money. So the coach who's already getting paid, once again, the coaches are limiting the fucking opportunity of the players on their own team. That would make me want to leave more than, God forbid somebody sees me play well and my earning potential goes up. Right. That's what we were doing here in the first fucking place. That's why we're playing football in the first fucking place, is to make money. So the spring game is just the first thing. They're going to start regulating everything, to be completely honest with you. So I can't believe that they're actually doing it. I think it would bring unbelievable eyes. People are yearning for football right now. I mean, the spring league's about to start up, and I'm excited about it, and I could give a shit. So I can't believe that the NCAA and the coaches are already doing this again. We're going to cancel games so our guys aren't getting film, so they can't get tampered with, which essentially says we don't want to lose our players, so we're going to restrict their earning potential. Because it's the only way we can make money as players is this. So I think that CU Syracuse would be awesome. CU fucking
anybody, yeah.
The CSU Pueblo down the street would be kick ass. Who gives a fuck? It's a scrimmage. Yeah. It's just an opportunity to go get reps against people that you don't usually get reps against, especially in the spring, so you can gauge what you actually have. So I can't believe that there's so many people that are just looking at it from, are you entertained as a fan? And that's the fucking difference between the way I think and the way these idiots in the comments think, who seem to think that this show would be good without me on it. So that's nice. That's good to hear today. See how that fucking goes. See how it goes. See how far this motherfucking show goes without me on it. But that's kind of my point is, people want to see quality on the field. And when you're a fan and say you didn't go to a bowl game, okay? And all of a sudden your coach just comes out and they're like, hey, we're not doing a spring game. No festivities, no gathering, no eyes, no TV coverage. It takes away from recruiting because we don't get to bring recruits in for that weekend, no official visits. And it's simply because, why? Because they're scared to lose a potentially good player to the NIL transfer portal world. Bro, that's going to happen. Isn't that going to happen rampantly anyway?
Well, here's my next question to you, because I don't think every school across the country is canceling it for the reason that Nebraska canceled it. That's something I wanted to ask you, because I had somebody ask me, why did Nebraska cancel their spring game? Is it the same reason that Texas did? Fuck no, it's not. Because Texas, remember, was just playing in the college football playoff. That shit went until late January. Matt, you know what the calendar is. It doesn't line up. But Nebraska, on the other hand, when did their season end? December. Like, they've been off for a while. And so now you look at it like Nebraska really is concerned about their players being tampered with. There's a bunch of different reasons for each school, but that's something I was like,
for 150. This is the first time I've ever heard of a spring game canceled other than COVID. So let's say for 120 years, give or take fucking 10 years or whatever, the fucking schedule was what it was, and you went to spring ball and winter conditioning and did your job.
Well, yeah, this is the first year of the 12-team playoff.
It has nothing to do with injuries and shit. It has everything to do with the inability of coaches to keep their own players on their roster because either they don't have enough money or they overpromised. Yes, I think that's the reason. In fact, I know it's the reason because the coaches that I talk to on a daily fucking basis tells me it's the reason. It has nothing to do with injury prevention. That is a sellout cop-out that people are buying, which is also incredible to me.
So I'm just curious, just because the first year with I think teams within the playoff that played till late January, that's where I was asking you, like Ohio State, Notre Dame, teams that played late in the season. I'm not talking about So I think it's team by team.
It doesn't, bro. They've had a ton of time off. They're not China dolls. That is not the way these guys are thinking, I promise you. It's all because there's no tampering rules and they don't have contracts for these kids. So rather than go out and because you want to showcase at spring games, especially when you're playing in a scrimmage, because you're trying to create a little bit of fucking hype, right? So you go showcase your great players, and let's say you put your twos in, and 3 or 4 of your guys go the fuck off, or a great pass rusher that's your 5th or 6th guy goes off, and you're trying to develop him. Well, shit, he's gone because somebody else just found him. They didn't even know he was there, and you served him up. So that is what they're doing here, trying to keep everybody from coming in and plucking their talent. That's just the bottom line. So it doesn't have anything to do with injury prevention. They don't give a fuck about the players being injured. That they don't even have insurance when they're done playing. They could give a shit about the player. They're strictly looking at this as how do we retain talent.
Okay. So now if you were a head coach of a prominent Power 5 school in this year, this transfer portal era right now, and you had to have a choice to either have a spring game and do what Coach Prime's doing or not have a spring game and do what Texas and USC and Nebraska are doing. What would you do?
Absolutely not. No way I'm canceling anything. I have confidence in me and my staff. I want to see my guys play. They've been working their balls off for fucking 5 weeks of spring ball to go out and play. And the end of the spring season is always a good time because, summer hits and you're off and you got 5 weeks off where you have to go back to school and blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to mean something, and now it doesn't mean shit. And it's just another thing that is being taken away from college football. It's another opportunity to watch your team. It's another opportunity to go somewhere with your kids. It's another opportunity to host recruits. It's another opportunity to show off all your new toys that you have on your football team. So scared fucking money doesn't make money, and this is a scared money move, period.
Absolutely. Nonetheless, and I agree with that last part you just said there for sure.